Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Merry Christmas and thanks to the Draughty Devil for the new studio. I'm feeling toasty with the fire. Coco the cat's back behind me. George will be pleased. And it's Christmas. But Antoine Griezmann to Manchester United in January is a possibility. There's also talk of a swap deal for a Manchester United player with an Inter Milan player, and it's not the one I hoped it would be, or many of you will think. So we'll be discussing that as well. Hope you're all feeling good. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Fantastic graphics from the Draughty yet again, bringing us some festive cheer every day on the United Stand till January the 6th. I think we'll do the traditional route, so we're in the Christmas studio for a while. But Antoine Griezmann finds himself in a more difficult situation than he was in the summer. Maybe he had all the cards. The offer was there from Manchester United, the number 7 shirt, the big move of the summer, and he turned his back on it through loyalty to Atletico Madrid. And these are not my words, these are the words of his agent and more or less himself. So he stayed at Atletico Madrid, his form dipped, Atletico Madrid's form dipped, and they now find themselves not in a title race and out of the Champions League before Christmas. They'll go into the Europa League. How the tables have turned to a year ago when there was talk that Griezmann may not want to move to Manchester United. Let's not forget, a year ago we weren't in a title race. We finished 6th. We were in the Europa League. We won it. And the tables have turned fantastically in our favour. We are going for a title, hopefully. We are in the Champions League, and Atletico Madrid are now in that reverse situation. And Griezmann's probably thinking, I wish I was playing for Manchester United, especially based on the performances against Arsenal and Watford lately. Good football, strong performances from United, and definitely progressing. So, could Griezmann sign for Manchester United in January? There are reports in Madrid, around Atletico Madrid, that this is a very realistic. Didn't need to add another word on. Very realistic. So much so that Diego Simeone has moved to say that there is no chance of Griezmann quitting Atletico Madrid in January. Now, I've always felt that it would happen in the summer. But thanks K76P5, amazing studio, big up to Draughty. I think we deserve to smash 1,000 likes just for the studio, and I'm sure you're all going to hit the like button. And the fact that Coco the cat's back over my right shoulder. Yes, it is very interesting in relation to the Griezmann scenario, because I've always felt that he would come in the summer, and I think the fact that the number 7 shirt is available and vacant is very, very telling. But there's no reason this deal can't be done in January. Let's not forget, Barcelona are scouting for boys. Not in that way. It's a male game of football. So Suarez hasn't been great. They've looked at Coutinho, obviously. I still think they'll favour Coutinho, and I think Coutinho will still favour Barcelona. But whether they can do that deal in January is another matter. Griezmann, I maybe need to be corrected here, but my understanding is that his transfer release clause drops down in January. That's all I've ever heard. So he's available in January for 89 million. I have heard some people say it doesn't drop down till the summer, but 89 million in January is a bargain for Griezmann, no matter what his form is, because as I've said before, Dembele and Mbappe are going for like 150 million. So Griezmann's in his prime, he's proven, and 89 million is a real bargain. And United need number 10. A lot of people think it might be Ozil, but I don't think Arsenal are going to let Ozil go in January either. So if we're going to wait for the summer for Griezmann anyways, may as well try and get him in January. What would that mean for Manchester United? Well, obviously he'd be cup tied in the Champions League, but in relation to the league, to fill that number 10 spot, and Lingard's done very well lately, but I'm with you, Dimas Marquicot. 89 million pounds is a bargain for Griezmann. I just think, you know, obviously we're passing, I wouldn't say we're passing a date, because I wanted to sort of get up to date with some transfer news, because January's coming up thick and fast. But we all know that it's all about the derby on Sunday, which is why I'm wearing the light blue top, because this, you know, Manchester is red. Manchester can be light blue as well. Manchester United is Manchester, and this is the best light blue top there is in Manchester. But it is all about that, of course it is. But we do need to look at January. I still think this, I mean, it's just a testament to how great Mourinho's done that we are still very competitive on all fronts at the moment, and I still think there are issues with the squad, especially around the midfield. So Griezmann, if that can be done in January, I would do it. And at the end of the day, he's leaving Atletico Madrid in the summer, isn't he? Atletico Madrid's season, apart from the Europa League, which he might just feel loyal again, and I'm going to help them win the Europa League. Be good if they could knock Arsenal out. That would make me very happy. Do I think he's going to come in January? I'd still say it's more likely to happen in the summer. But I tell you what, nothing surprises me with Manchester United, and I wouldn't be surprised. The reality is, He stayed at Atletico Madrid through loyalty. They get Diego Costa in January, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it happened. And from a Manchester United point of view, it would be fantastic to bring in a player of Griezmann's quality in January, and it would give us a big boost. I just think a lot of people are going to say, no, it's not going to happen. But if you're Jose Mourinho and you look at where this season's gone wrong for United, and it's not gone wrong, but there has been results where we've struggled, it's been around the midfield. It's been around the number 10. It's been around the link between the midfielder and the attack. And yes, Lingard's done well in the last couple of games, but how long's that going to last? Do you really think Jesse Lingard's a first-team player for Manchester United? I think he's a great squad player. I don't think he can do that week in, week out. If he can't do it, Mkhitaryan's let us down. Are you convinced Zlatan can do it? Mata can do it every now and again. We need a number 10. We know we need one. Why would Mourinho not go and get that number 10 in January if they're available, especially if there's going to be competition for it? So keep your eye on that one. Inter Milan, Manchester United swap. Juan Mata for Perisic. I'd love to say that. I wouldn't actually. I would like Perisic, but not for Mata. But it's Mata. It's not for Perisic. It's for João Mario, who is a 24-year-old Portuguese midfielder. He's not actually playing for Inter Milan that much at the moment, but he's a player that's been courted by Manchester United previously on previous transfer summers we've done on the United Stand. We've mentioned him before. What sort of player is he? To be honest, he's 5'10", so I would like him to come to Manchester United. He can play the number 10 position, but for me, he's better driving from the midfield. I like his tenacity, his work rate. He's a very good creator. He's very technical, and he can run with the ball. And I quite like him adapting a little bit deeper than the number 10 position, and potentially as a sort of backup if Pogba's injured. Like if you had him at the weekend, you'd have some creativity and drive from the midfield. And just moving away from the Griezmann thing for a moment, I think that's where Manchester United have struggled. So much so that I've mentioned people like Ross Barkley. So we're not really talking about a number 10 here. We're talking about somebody who can play that Pogba role. So you've got Matic or Herrera behind. You've got Lingard, Mata, Mkhitaryan as the sort of more advanced player. And then you've got the box-to-box stroke attacking midfielder, the Pogba role, which we struggle so much to solve. We saw it in October. We're going to see it on Sunday. We struggle to find that player who can be dynamic and progressive from the midfield, from the box-to-box midfielder position. And Mario can certainly do that because he likes to run at players. He has got some creativity. He has got tenacity and a hard work rate. So the talk is that potentially there's a swap deal there for Mata. I'm not convinced Mata wants to go to Serie A, but we do have other people that we might want to shift off to Italy. And maybe I think Italy... The problem with Mkhitaryan for me is the Kagawa syndrome. It's the issue with the physicality and the issue with the mentality of how the Premier League is. I think Mkhitaryan struggles with the tenacity and the pace of the Premier League. So maybe the Serie A would be a good place for Mkhitaryan, and maybe that's something we could look to do with Inter Milan. But swap deals are very, very hard. It is Coco behind me, Coco the cat, for those people who don't know. Let's drop some likes on the video. This is a fantastic festive studio for the United Stand, and Georgie's going to kill me. Georgie's going to kill me because I've actually made a mistake. Apologies. Let me just sort this out. I did have it. What have I done? I've shown you some things I shouldn't have shown you there. I'll sort it out for the next show. Alahi says we'll get Griezmann in January. Goretzka or Barkley, says Fionn Curtin. I don't know that Manchester United are actually in for Ross Barkley, but I do like Ross Barkley. Premier League proven. It gives us some dynamism from the midfield. I can never do that word. But the midfield, you know, we are playing Manchester City at the weekend, and I think that is the issue we have, is when Pogba gets injured, we don't have that progressive midfielder. We've got lots of midfielders who can attack, but we don't have that progressive midfielder, and I think that's something we do need to look at in more detail as we go. In relation to the Champions League games, Liverpool are winning 3-0, Tottenham are winning 2-0, and Manchester City are playing and they are losing 2-1, but in relation to that, they have played an absolute team of kids. They've got nobody of any note part of that squad. I mean, fair dues to Mourinho. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the Shakhtar. Take the L, Goldbridge. Take the L. I wish I'd read that out because that joke could have gone on. I'm reading the Shakhtar Donetsk lineup and I was just about to go off on one. They've just got a team of kids. I've never heard of them. Stepanenko, Marlos, Bernard. How disrespectful to the Champions League is that from Pep? Because he's just picked a load of players I've never heard of. And that's pretty much because you're reading the Shakhtar Donetsk side. So the Man City side is still pretty much a team of reserves. They've got Ederson. I mean, to be fair, it's not much better. Danilo, Mangala, Gundogan, Foden, Silva, Sane, Jesus. Aguero's on the bench, so they have rested a lot of their players, which, to be honest, I think we pretty much expected them to do that. But I will take the L because I was going to read the Atletico Madrid, no, Shakhtar the next team. Come on then, it's a Wednesday night, so let's take some of your questions and enjoy the fire and the festivity on the United stand. Would you play Lingard against Manchester City, says Warren Storr. Yeah, I think he's got to play. I think he deserves to play. And the thing about Lingard is, I actually think, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, Lingard's had a really poor season up until the last 2 weeks where he's been absolutely on fire. He's really worked well in that 3-5-2 system. It really brings the best out of Lingard. So he's got to play. I think the fact that he's through the youth setup and he understands what the derby's all about, I think he's got to play for that reason. And the fact that he's in form, he's got to play. I mean, for Lingard, for me, that's the position we need to buy somebody, and it needs to be somebody world class. So Lingard won't be in that position in a season's time. But for the moment, I think he deserves that spot. Mkhitaryan's let us down badly. I don't even think he'll be in the squad. Yeah, so I'm happy for Lingard to play. I don't know what anybody else says. Fellaini will be fit for Sunday, Sean McGinley. There's a good chance Fellaini might play. I think it's a bit of a trap that Pep Guardiola set, to be honest, because Pep Guardiola came out and said, I'm scared of height. I'm scared of the height of Manchester United. And I think Mourinho will use that height. But the problem is, if you play Fellaini, I think Pep's playing a mind game here. And I think his mind game is he wants us to play Fellaini because he knows his small, quick players will be able to blitz around Fellaini very quickly. And we've also got Matic, who's tall. So Herrera's got to play. We need that dynamic, quick across the ground player. Mickey needs a chance as King Aziz. I would not let him anywhere near this game. Would you trust him in a game we've got to win, the biggest game of the season? I wouldn't trust Mkhitaryan. The best he can hope for is a bench. Drawty's on there. I know the mistake I've made, Drawty, and I can't bloody find it to rectify it. I had put it on there. And I think I might have deleted it by mistake, which is a shame. But people will just get to see it tomorrow, won't they? But I definitely put it on there. I've got a funny feeling that Rashford might start. I don't know why. I just think Rashford might start because he's a youth set-up player. Dees TV, you think we'll see Zlatan start against City? I think that would be a risk that I wouldn't do. I don't believe, Chad, that Silva is injured, and I think Mourinho was spot on. And if you follow the United Stand on Twitter at United Stand MUFC, we actually tweeted that hours before Mourinho came out and said it, that this is mind games from Pep, talking about an injury to a player who will definitely play. And the reason he's doing that is because he knows we've got an excuse that Pogba's not playing, and he knows that the press will be positive about that towards us. So he comes out and says that Silva's out injured as well when he knows full well he's not. City losing tonight, says Warley, a good or bad thing? I don't think it matters. I really don't think it matters. I think maybe the travel time helps, but it's a Manchester derby. I think they could play the game before, or we could play the day before, and you'd still be up for it. It's a great leveller. The thing that won't be a great leveller is if the Old Trafford crowd is like an absolute cauldron of atmosphere. And don't forget what I said before. Get on social media and start panning Michael Oliver and tweeting about Michael Oliver, because Liverpool did this before we played them last year about the referee being from Manchester. We need to be on social media absolutely saying it's a farce that Michael Oliver's the referee for this. Guarantee he's going to give a couple of penalties and a red card against United and penalties to Man City. Build and build and build it, because the media will grab hold of it, and then it'll be like Michael Oliver's got a bit of pressure on him because he deserves it. We need every little angle we can get in this game, so I would implore you to do that. SB says Martial will start. I hope he will. You know what? FIFA player says I'd play Ibra for his height. Sorry, Coco's behind my shoulder there. He'll move his head in a minute. There he is. Watch out. Being ignorant. He's just looked. How you doing? Pep. Zlatan hates Pep, so he needs to be involved. Whether I'd start him or not is another matter. I would have him off the bench. Yeah, I would have him off the bench. Jonathan Royston Ford. I don't care that Liverpool are winning 5-0. They are 6 points behind us. We've scored more goals than them. Liverpool think because they're flat track bullies that they're a decent side this year. They're not. They're nowhere near the title. It's going to be Manchester City or United who win the title, not Liverpool, and that makes me happy. They can score as many goals as they like. We went to Anfield, they couldn't score any. Sit down and take the big L that starts at the start of your club name. Coco is back, Beck. We're going for 1,000 likes tonight because the studio deserves it. So smash that like button. If you're loving the studio, it's festive. It's going to be here on every single show. We've even got a Red Rumours Christmas studio for you. So for the next month, you've got a bit of festivity every single night on the United Stand. So make sure you subscribe and get involved with the channel. Sit down, City, says Mark Rolls. How's Robbie, says Ollie Barnes Jr. Fine, fine. He's fine. We need to do some rambles because the weather is going to be very cold over the next 2 weeks, which means the ground will be hard and frosty, and that's perfect weather for a ramble with Robbie. I don't like it when it's muddy and wet. Likety like for Crimbo and Coco, says Twix Space Raiders. Will we park the bus? Like to know your views, says Samuel Brundell. Well, I've got to tell you actually, because we're into the depths of the channel now, and this is where the hardcore United standers are. I've got to say to you that this is the situation with the United stand at the moment. We were a little bit late tonight because I had something on. Tomorrow night I've got a work due, so my plan tomorrow night is not to be live at 8 o'clock. My plan tomorrow night is to be live at 10 o'clock off my phone, and I will set the stream up. So do visit the United stand because there is now when I used to go live off my phone, I could never schedule it. I will schedule it for you tomorrow night, and I will be live at 10 o'clock after a Christmas do. So it's going to be a very funny Manchester United versus Manchester City preview because it will be off my phone, and I'll be a little bit drunk. But yes, 10 o'clock live tomorrow for a phone walk home preview. That's going to be good fun. But there will be a proper preview going up with tactics and everything, and that will be Friday night. But there will be a funny preview tomorrow. Storyface, top marks for Flex, doesn't get enough credit on here. Look, I'm aware of the fan cams on the channel. They are absolutely fantastic, and I know the views aren't as good as they are for me, but you know, that's because I'm better. As simple as that. Next topic. No, I'm only joking. Fan cams are new on this channel. I know a lot of people are enjoying the fan cams, and I'm sure over the next few months they will grow and grow and grow. It's a new thing. We used to have fan cam on here, remember, with Kev? That, you know, that was low views but had a hardcore. I think the fan cams have been brilliant. I think they're the best Manchester United fan cams because I think Flex is the best Manchester United fan cam presenter. I think he's brilliant, and I think they'll get better and better because, well, they're already good, but I think the views will go up as more and more people become aware of it on the channel. They're there for you to watch and get involved with, so do that. Soonest is an idiot, says Superior Human, comment of the night. Wish we could play City's second team, says, don't worry about that. Jonathan Garbutt's made a contribution. Thoughts on Luke Shaw's performance yesterday, and comments Mourinho made saying due to his performance he will get more game time. Can he work his way back in? I thought that comment, Jonathan, was very interesting because a lot of people were saying that maybe Luke Shaw, Mourinho's put him in the shop window. I think he has put him in the shop window. I think if Mourinho's looking to get rid of Luke Shaw, he's probably just locked his value up from 15 to 20 million just by playing him that game yesterday. If I was any club in the Premier League, I'd be thinking, I'll have a bit of that Luke Shaw because he looked fantastic. It's one game, he needs to do it more. But I think the fact that Mourinho has said Luke Shaw has an opportunity to get more into the team and will get more games is a positive. I would imagine and predict that his next game will be Bristol City in the League Cup, which I think is 2 weeks tonight. Looking forward to that. Drawty is looking forward to it as well. But he may play against Bournemouth in the home game next Tuesday, or it must be next Wednesday actually. But yeah, it's all good. Ned's Sukmani says Luke and Young, can we play them together? Says, yeah, you could, but actually I think Luke Shaw just needs to be patient and progressive, and I think Luke Shaw could be our first choice left back by March, which I think is a fair sort of timescale. 3-2 United at the weekend, 90th minute winner, says Danny Green. I want us to win. We need to win that game. But to be honest with you, I don't know that a draw wouldn't be the end of the world. We do need to win it. A draw would not be the end of the world. Come on, we want 1,000 likes on this video. We've got 1,951 watching. We need 1,000 likes on this video for the brilliance of the graphics provided by Mr. Draughty Devil. Absolutely superb. The tree, Coco the cat behind me. There he is over that shoulder. And the fire behind is fantastic as well. I don't know what he's doing, that cat. Young Legit has 1-2 years left in the tank, says How 93, and we only have 80 million to spend. Yeah, good point, Morgs Plays. I'm sorry I've left this towards the end of the video, but it's a very good one. The rumour is that Manchester United have 90 million euros to 80 million euros. Was it 90 million? It's about 70 million pounds to spend in January. How would you spend that 70 million pounds is the question we put out on Twitter, which I'm going to have to read now because you can't quote something and then not use it. But what about you lot at home who are watching live or not live? Give us your thoughts in the comments below, because how would I spend... We've had 171 comments, so I can't read them all. Shane Higgs said he'd spend it wisely. Very, very good. Cocaine and Hookers, says James Eden. Pay Fellaini to leave, says Gotham N. Secure Garatska, Max Meyer and Leon Bailey, says Mooney Bian. FIFA Ultimate Pack, says Prabs. Maybe Willian as our winger, says Marshall the Magician. I would like Willian, and I think we'd get him for a decent price. And MUFC fan 20 times says Willian and a centre midfielder. There's a few ways you can look at it. Thanks for those Twitter contributions. Harry Bowles made a contribution. Score prediction mark. My name is Ball, not Bell. Harry Ball, sorry, not Harry Bell. I would go with Manchester United. I don't really want to give my score prediction away, but I think Manchester United are going to win against Man City. How would I spend £70 million in January? I like the idea of Willian, and 70 million would not be enough to get Griezmann anyway. So maybe there's a hint in the fact that we're not getting Griezmann until the summer, if at all, because 70 million is not enough. So 70 million to spend in January. For me, I think the two most priority positions for United are an attacking midfielder and a midfielder in case Pogba gets injured. So yeah, I would be looking at somebody like Mario from Inter, who we've already spoken about, a Ross Barkley as an attacking midfielder or a box-to-box midfielder to back up Pogba. Because remember, we're dealing in a backup here. We're not dealing in a first teamer. We need a backup for Pogba. Our midfield is fantastic. Matic and Pogba is the best midfield in the world, in the league. Sorry. So their first choice. So you need backup. So someone like Barkley, I think, you know, you'd probably get him for maybe 20-25 million because he's free in May. You could look at Ozil again, free in May. And I think Willian, you'd probably get him for 30 million. So you could get 2 or 3 players there. And let's not forget the fact that we probably don't need to go and spend 40 or 50 million on Danny Rose now because of Luke Shaw is very, very, very encouraging. So if we've got 70, I think this January transfer window is going to be very important for Manchester United, because I said this before, there's a World Cup summer coming up. I think United need at least 6 players. Can you trust Woodward to get all the deals we need to get done? At minimum of 6 in the summer, in half the summer because of the World Cup, and a shortened transfer window, because remember it's getting shortened now. I can't remember when is the transfer deadline for August now? Is it the first game of the season? Something like 15th of August or something like that. So it's shorter because of that. It's shorter because of the World Cup. Can we get rid of 6 players and get 6 players in just over a month? No. We've got to use January. I think we'll see a couple of players coming in and a couple of players coming out. Harry Ball says, thanks for the contribution. Name your price for a score prediction from you. I can't be bought. I can't take your money to tell you what the score prediction for the Manchester City game is. Look, the hardcore are staying on late. My score prediction it's buried late in the video. Not a lot of people will see this apart from the 2,000 who are watching. My score prediction for the Manchester derby at this moment in time, off the top of my head, is Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1. And let's not forget the youth of Manchester United. I think Willian would be a good signing. Let's not forget the youth of Manchester United. Tahith Chong's back. What a talent he is. 18. We've got Angel Gomez. Got some fantastic talent coming through as well. So Willian for a couple of years is not a bad signing at all. Snaps, don't worry, I'm going to spend big, says Ed Woodward. Whenever the Premier League starts, says Fionn Curtin, is when it will go. Ty Williams has got the 859th like. I just feel there's... Well, I don't feel anything. I'm soulless. No, there's 1,900 people watching and we are 136 likes... 135 likes short. I want 1,000 likes before we end this show because this studio just deserves it. I mean, where do you see this quality of individual sat in front of you than me? No, I'm talking about the graphics. I'm talking about Coco the cat. Look, he's put his head up right behind me there. He's got his head up. He wants 1,000 likes. The Christmas tree wants 1,000 likes. The fire's burning. Where do you get this feeling of festive warmth and community anywhere else on YouTube other than the United Stand? You know, visually stunning, and that's just me. But the warmth that you get from the live comments, me, the fire... It's fantastic and it deserves 1,000 likes. So smash that like button. Drawty's in the comments. He'll be getting excited. Not in that way. It does deserve it. T Ballard says 1,000 for the win on Sunday. Apparently we need to get 3,000 likes on the watch along on Sunday because that's what Marcus and Ross got on the watch along against Arsenal. 3,000 likes, and we won a game that a lot of people thought we were struggling. So there we go. Ty Williams says the cat is quite cute. 1,000 likes or the cat goes in the fire. Live on YouTube. There we go. Mike D's made a contribution. He says Griezmann, Willian, Alexandro and Milankovic-Savic. You ain't going to get all them for 70 million, pal. In no way. We've hit 1,000 likes. Pereira could come back. Good point from Lee Grant. Pereira could come back. I think Pereira would be a good backup for Pogba. I don't know what you think. You know, we're talking about someone like Ross Barkley, but I think Pereira coming into that position would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic in that midfield box-to-box position. I don't think he wants to come back, by the way. And I forgot to do Pereira Watch, which is something we can just do live because I was away at the weekend, so I've not actually kept up to speed with everything. And one thing that really does run to my mind is Fosu Mensah watch as well. My understanding is that Fosu Mensah didn't play against West Brom. And that understanding would be right. He was on the bench as an unused substitution again. Just wasted it. Wasting his time. He really is wasting his time, Fosu Mensah. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I just think, why? Why is he there? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Very odd indeed. Valencia actually lost at the weekend, which is a surprise. And Pereira wasn't even on the bench for that game. Don't know what's gone wrong there then. I don't know what Valencia were doing at the weekend. They have no Guedes and no Pereira in the squad at all. Two really good players for them. And not involved. So not a great weekend for our lone watch, to be honest. Coco is a she, by the way. It's a female pussy. I had to take it down, River, didn't I? Had to bring the standards down. Joe Murillo wants young Manchester United move, says Callum Roberts. Discussed that 20 minutes ago, pal. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I am sort of rambling a little bit towards the end. But remember, tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. I won't be on at 8 o'clock because I've got a Christmas do tomorrow night. But I will be on at 10 o'clock off my phone. Lagered up probably. Maybe top it off with a couple of whiskies later on. I will be live off the phone tomorrow night, and also the stream will go up. So just because it's on my phone doesn't mean there won't be a live comment section for you to get chatting. I'll probably put that up at about 7 o'clock for you, so I will be on at 10. Thanks everyone for watching. Really enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone who gave 1,000 likes. Strawty totally deserves it. The graphics are great, and we will bring you Christmas on the United Stand every day of December and the traditional 12 days of Christmas. So right the way through to January the 6th, you'll get festivity on the United Stand visually. And remember, our Christmas party is probably going to be on the night of the West Brom game. So join us for that. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, I'm going to be smashed, and I'll be live on my phone talking about the Man City game. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all very soon. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and enjoy the rest of your night. Peaky Blinders, isn't it? I just realised Peaky Blinders has been on for 10 minutes. Apologies for that. Back tomorrow. Going to be some fun. Speak to you all soon. It's going to be hardcore tomorrow night, 10 PM. Have it. I'll have to be careful.